Let me ask you a controversial question.
Yes.
Should comics be doing like 10 specials, or is it time to hang it up? Is it time? What's going on?
I don't want to do a special unless I have to talk about something.
Right.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I mean, there's so many comics have been around forever, since we're 2.
Yeah.
Is it time for any of them to leave? And this is one of the things I say.
Do I want to do the Tim Dillon show answer, or is it the real answer?
It's the real answer.
The real answer is keep on doing until the wheels fall off if it makes you happy. The Tim Dillon show answer is a lot of guys got to go.
You gotta go.
A lot of guys got to go.
I love you, but you gotta go. You gotta go. And I respect you, and you've done it. But what are we still doing at a certain point, right?
A lot of guys
at a certain point,
gotta go.
You've done it. Like, how much can you do it? Like, it's, Yeah. What do you see? I mean, I get it. If it makes you happy, do whatever makes you happy.
What if we
But also do what makes me happy. And what makes me happy is you not doing this anymore.
Do they have to go, yes or yes?
Yeah, they gotta go.
I love yes or yes.
I think yes or yes was
we should do a yearly purge of them.
Yeah.
We just sit
It
down.
just has to happen.
And we just, instead of like the top
what is going to happen to comedy clubs in this?
I think comedy clubs are good because I think comedy clubs are going to be good.
They'll be good.
I think
if they can hang on, because it's just a hard economic
thing. I think
thing.
a lot of them will hang on. I don't know. For whatever reason, I think a lot of them will. But I think they're good, and I think that will be one of the first experiences that people go back out in public to do.
Yeah, I
it's kind of
agree.
safe. You're not making out with strangers in a dance floor.
Right.
You are already somewhat distanced, but
Gotcha.
you're with your friends, you're laughing, and you're kind of like somebody's regaling the times, and you want to relate to it. I think they'll thrive.
Yeah.
But 100%. The comedy clubs is where we'll be working on our bits and then have these kind of intimate experiences. But when it comes to creating a show, the reality is if I'm doing The Garden and I'm making fun of someone in the front row, nobody else in the Garden can see that person in the front row. So I have to change my show to accommodate
that venue.
The venue,
and
right?
The experience.
You can't, even doing the monologue where we're doing, it's like, I have to constantly change what I'm doing. Like early in my career, I was just doing material. I put out 2 specials of material.
Right.
Okay, I got really good at that. And I'm not trying to pat myself on the back, but I was really good at it.
Right.
What am I not really good at?
Let's get better.
Yeah. Okay, I see these guys doing monologues all the time. Never once have I thought they're funny.
Right.
And I'm just like, how has nobody tried to do this funny yet?
Right.
They suck.
Right.
Okay, maybe I'm terrified of looking like an idiot.
Right.
Terrified? Good. I should go do that thing I'm terrified of. We start doing it, and then it works out.
Why don't people do more shit that scares them?
Why do you think?
I don't know. I mean, I would say that it's painful.
Yeah, but you will do it.
Why
will you do it?
I mean, I'm a little crazy.
You're a little crazy, but you also don't have shame.
I don't have shame.
You will fucking fail.
I don't have any shame. I'll fail.
Yeah.
I'll fail.
Why will you fail?
I have the Bay Putty on. Yeah, I'll fail. Why will I fail?
Have a what?
I have that hoodie, that Bay Putty. Give me that hoodie. Give me that hoodie.
I'll fail?
No, it's just this hoodie that everyone makes fun of me for because I did a sketch with it on.
Right.
But when I put this hoodie on, I become a different person.
Yeah.
People don't understand that I don't give a shit about politics anymore. When I put this hoodie on, I don't care about fucking, do you read a book? What book you read? You want to fucking, what do you think's going to happen? No.
Yeah.
When I put this hoodie on, I realize that I am beautiful.
You are gorgeous.
And that, because a black man came up to me and he said, you look fresh as fuck when I had this on.
Yeah.
And no one had ever been complimentary to me like that before.
Yeah.
And I've discovered that I can be a new person with just one garment of clothing.
Yeah.
And I can maybe start smoking weed again and doing pills and drinking that cough syrup.
Hey.
That's a different. That person doesn't have a drug problem. The person in this is responsible.
Okay.
He can, but I Mike Lawrence said something really good once. Somebody said, I'm afraid to do this show. And Mike Lawrence goes, are you too good to fail? I've never felt like I was too good to fail.
Yeah.
I think that's part of why I do shit. I don't feel like I'm too good to fail.
Yeah.
I don't feel like if I put out a shit video and it gets a few thousand views, that's okay. A lot of comics don't want to start pursuing shit online because they're like, what am I going to have to build this fucking social media network?
Yeah, you do.
In the beginning, you do. You're going to have to do it and keep doing it.
Yeah.
And it is what it is. In the beginning, I had no followers. I had nothing.
Yeah.
And, but I don't feel like too good to, I feel like I got to, as long as I'm playing, I'm okay. If I'm on the field, I'm okay. If I'm on the bench pointing at people on the field going, fuck them.
Loser.
that's where I get depressed.
Yeah.
I got to play.
Yeah.
And if that's the way that I feel good about myself, decent about myself, not tremendous, but.
There's a guy I grew up with, Siddiqui Thomas, right?
Yes.
Jamaican dude.
Yeah.
Hilarious. He would hit on every girl.
Right.
He would his rate of like closing was probably like 2 out of 10 or 3 out of 10.
Right. Which is good.
Okay. It's good.
Yeah.
I didn't think he was a loser when he failed.
Right.
I thought he was the bravest motherfucker I've
Out
ever
there.
seen.
Yeah.
Because when I was young, I was terrified of not only getting rejected, but my friends seeing me get rejected.
Right.
And then I thought in my mind, I was like, I'm going to lose some sort of social currency to my friends. They think I'm cool.
The bravest thing anyone can do right now, literally to me, is talk to a woman. To sit down and speak to a woman and listen to them and take their opinion seriously is, to me, braver than jumping out of a plane without a parachute in my life. Like, for me to have to do that is huge. So that's a big...
No upside for you. Very little upside
Very
for
little.
you.
Well, Whitney Cummings gave us that table in the back, which we paid her for. She keeps acting like it's charity. I'm like, we gave you money. Get thousands of them.
Yeah.
But I love her. I love Whitney. Because Whitney is a power. You know, she's a real fucking... She's a great comic. And
great comic. Great. Unstoppable force.
Unstoppable force. That's
she
the way
will
to
get
say
it done.
Yeah, she'll get it done.
She's not afraid as well. She thinks she's afraid.
Right.
But that is what pushes her. Does that make sense?
How do you, when you see people that... Do you believe that hard work is genetic? George Carlin said maybe it is genetic. And there's something very interesting about that.
Yeah.
I know people who I look at.
What is it? Nature versus nurture. I think it's nurture, but I think you have to see hard work at a very young age
to get it.
And then that's
like I saw my mom getting up every day, coaching a swim team, getting up at 5 a.m., doing everything. I get it. I also saw my dad, who I love, like, was a really great musician, but never took it to the level he could have.
Yeah.
I had both of those experiences, right?
Now, were you afraid of repeating what your dad?
Oh, yeah. I was afraid of having a studio in my house in the suburbs.
Yeah. Wait.
Like my dad. Oh, no. My dad had a studio where he would just sit in a room in his house in the suburbs, but no one cared. He was just playing his guitar. Okay?
That's way different. Totally different.
I've won, Father.
Yeah.
And I was afraid of, and my dad was a really talented guy, and he was talented because I knew that because other people would tell me he wouldn't. Like, other people would say, your dad had this massive band on Long Island in the 70s. It was really big. Did you know about that? And I'm like, kind of. And my dad didn't really keep a lot of that stuff around, right? There was no like photos of it. So I was like, oh, okay.
Catholic thing? Like a...
No, I think he didn't want to remind himself that he was on this track that never panned out.
Yeah, that shit's hard. Yeah.
It's tough, right? And I get it. He had a kid. He got into, got a sales job or whatever. But when I got into this, I was 25 years old. And I'm like, this is the last thing that I have the shot to be good at. There's not a lot of things you can do at 25, right? I mean, there's some, certainly, but a lot. This is the other thing about life that people don't really want to talk about, which is like, at a certain point, you gotta make a decision and stick with it. You don't. You can't reinvent yourself every 3 years.
What point? You think?
I don't know.
You think it's 25?
No,
I don't think it's an age. Later.
I don't think it's a specific age.
Okay.
I think that it's a moment, and I don't think you can reinvent everything you want. Like, I know people that have wanted to be 10 things.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, this is a problem.
Yeah.
Every 3 years you want to be another thing.
And you know what I notice about those people? Each one of those things has one thing in common.
Right.
And they're just lily padding to the next thing because that one isn't working, and it's usually validation.
I look at
It's like, I want people to like me. Okay, I'm gonna be an actress. Doesn't work. I'm gonna be a Pilates coach that's on YouTube. It's not really.
I
working
look at
out.
people that are really funny, and I say to myself, I look at people that are really funny and haven't made much of their careers, and I think a lot of that is because they don't get bored easily. I get very bored.
Who is that?
I look at comics that are very funny that haven't built a fan base. That's a lot of people, right?
Is it?
No. But
that's the thing. Like, there's really. There's guys, I don't want to be insulting, but there
are guys that we know that should be bigger. I
should be bigger. Is yes.
And I think
but do they have drug issues? Usually, people that are
I don't know if they do.
There's different levels of funny, right?
Yeah.
Like if we're just being honest.
Let's be honest.
There is
a lot of young comics are going to listen to this.
They should.
And they should
fucking pay extra close attention because they're not the elite level of funny yet.
Yes.
And you and I were
by
both...
young comics, I mean Bill Burr. No, I'm kidding. I'm just... I'm kidding.
But like you and I were both at the point where we're not funny. Right?
Yes.
And then we start to get to the point where we're funny. Right. But we're not elite funny yet.
Yes.
And then we get to the point where you want to get to elite funny. Right? And people at elite funny.
It's so hard to get to.
Now, it's hard to get to, but they are making a living. Even if they're fucking drug addicts, they're making a living.
Yeah. If
they're drug addicts, they're not as famous as they should be, but they're still living.
They're living.
That's how few people are elite. Right.
That's a great point. This is such a small group of people. It gets whittled down. It constantly gets whittled down.
There's a handful of us.
A handful of people.
There's really a handful of us. When you think about it, so it's like there's a lot of people in the middle and they're like, why don't I have a career? It's like, well, that's not how it works.
Yeah.
This shit is too fun for everybody to do it.
Yeah.
So if you want to have the career, you have to be elite.
Right.
Don't
you think there's a value in the fact that people like you and I think people like me get bored with shit easily? We get bored we go, I want to do cool shit and new shit.
I can tell you exactly why I love stand-up.
Yeah.
Because it is the basketball hoop changing height every single time you go on the court.
Right.
So you practice your free throws on a 10-foot hoop, right? You're like, I got that down.
Right.
And then you go up at Hilarities in Cleveland.
Is there a way that we can use a white sport?
Yes.
Just for my...
Yes.
Is the tennis?
I got it. Ready? Okay. Ready?
Yes.
Here we go.
I'm ready.
Tennis.
Yes.
Every time you go onto the court, you have a different size racket.
Wow. Yes.
Now you're with me?
Yes.
So now you're like, I perfected it with that one racket, but I'm at Hilarities and it's this tiny little racket. And now when I try to serve, it doesn't do the whole. So I got to figure out how to be so good at this no matter what size racket I have.
Yeah.
I'm going to be successful. And that's going to take you fucking decades. So people like you and I that can get bored of shit that we can get good at quickly.
Right.
We're going to go, okay, I move on.
I know some of these young guys who say things like, I just want a good quality of life.
But
kill yourself, right?
Stop talking to me.
Yeah. I love it. Yes.
Why are we having,
yes.
Why would you tell me that? Why would you tell me that? I want to conquer the world.
Right. No. But it's true. No. If you're using those words and you're in your 20s, you're in trouble.
I mean, like,
you're in fucking trouble,
I tell people, you will go no further than your dream.
Right.
With this business.
Right.
No further. So if you just want to make a living, that is if you're lucky,
right.
You'll get there if you're lucky.
Right.
If you say, I want to sell out arenas, you might get to theaters.
Yeah.
And that's pretty fucking sick.
That's pretty cool.
Right?
Yeah.
But you gotta go, like, dreams cost nothing. You might as well just fucking dream.
Yeah.
I want to make a living. To me, you quit already.
Right.
You quit already.
I said that I wanted to get killed by the CIA, but I may settle for 500,000 YouTube subscribers. Hey-o!